Hello everyone, I am Dr. Eric Morrison. This is 7 Under 3, and I'll be covering trading education, more specifically Forex trading, using the TC2000 and TradingView platforms. Hello, this is the stock indice review for the 13th of April, and I'm going to start off with the 20-year treasuries. Right now, bullish move, but has now turned bearish, and as you can see here, I got a target at 96.35 down here that lines up with the 0.382 on the Fibonacci. Has a lot of support to go through before it hits that particular target. It has to go through the RL270, and then the major pivot point on the Fibonacci, and then head down to the 382. But as you can see, the 0.382 is aligned with the point figure and also the Z3 excursions in terms of support. We also have another support zone between the pivot point and this Z3 excursion. So still a lot of room to the downside. Very strong right now, but turning over at this point for the treasuries. What that means for the rest of the indices, looking at natural gas, is kind of hit its bottom. I have 2 points, one supported by the Z3 excursion. The other one is kind of a range between that and the 6.18 on the Fibonacci. So this is turned over, it's broken through this Z3 excursion liquidity zone and is continuing to the downside. Right now it's at the 0.382 on the Fibonacci, so it's got to break through that before it can continue down to this liquidity zone, which means the targets are at like 1.66 or 1.77 for natural gas to get down to this low. But there's already triggers to the downside on this, on the RLFF, and looking at major downward moment and candle action in terms of volume to the downside. Looking at the dollar, it is now at its support level right now, which is basically the base before it started this major uptrend here. It has to break through this in order to do this at 100.850. Right now it's at 100.900. So I expect a little bounce here. It's at the 618 on the Fibonacci, and it could bounce and go back up here significantly depending on there. That would send the markets down significantly. But the dollar is very weak. You're actually seeing kind of a crack up here where with the fall of the dollar is overvaluating the stock indices, which is sending the stock market up at this point. And right now we're at a pinnacle moment on whether or not the dollar would still continue to go down to the 100 level, third level of support here around the Bollinger Band here on the Z3. There is talk about a potential dollar devaluation going down here, some levels at 70 or whatever, so the collapse of the dollar. We'll see if this continues to hold, and then we get a little bounce from here. Russell 2000 has basically got a nice target at 1958 to the upside up here around this 0.618 Fibonacci on this level, but it has again a lot of resistance to get through. The RL270, Z3 excursions, 0.382 on the Fibonacci, and the Z3 here. So pretty much it's right now at major resistance here with the major pivot point of the Fibonacci. We'll see if it can continue to go up. The majority of all the indices at either their support or major resistance zones. This is kind of dangerous trading. I would not. You could see some potential reversals even though all indications are to the upside. So I might be sitting on my hands and not trade tomorrow. Point fact, gold has now hit major 0.618 on the Fibonacci and also its point figure target here at 2052.22 where gold is at. So we might have a little bit of retracement back down to the 0.382 Fibonacci before it continue to go up here by this Z3 100 level on the Fibonacci. S&P 500 also the same thing, just broke through the Z3 excursion. Not a very wide gap, but over here is incredible resistance up here. So you got the 0.618 here on the Fibonacci, and then you got the 0.786 here, which lines up with the point figure and also these Z3 excursions for major liquidity zones. We'll see if it can break through that. But right now, the markets are kind of anemic and weak, so we'll see if they can actually break through that. NASDAQ, same thing, at major resistance zones. Here at the 0.382, it does have a target over here at the 100. The Z3 is down here, so it has to break through a lot of resistance before it can get up that. And right now, it's just not very strong. Same thing with the Dow is at the Z3 excursion, which aligns with the point figure and also the 0.618 on the Fibonacci. So it is at resistance, and you could expect a potential retracement here back to the 382. The picks for today, which we had a nice swing from from Wednesday to Thursday for both the swings and the intraday, was UCO. That was the initial. GDXU was the one that shot up to its overall resistance and then just stayed right there. So it has the Z3 excursion, the 100 on the Fibonacci, and also the point figure target showed this beautiful liquidity zone to take profit at. Cold, also at the 0.382 on the Fibonacci, closed right at it, and has this major Z3 excursion liquidity zone that's aligned with the 0.382. It has to break up before it can go up to this 0.618 or this Z3 excursion here. SOXS was down, even though all indications were to the upside. And both its swing was minus $70 and minus 360 on the deal. So it's just not strong enough right now on the shorts for semiconductors, but we'll see how it goes going forward. It's just showing some signs of life here in volatility. Defense is pretty strong. Had $50 on the intraday and then on the swing, and then $270 on the intraday. Continues to go up. It's got this nice path now to the 382, but with the overall indices kind of down for right now at their major resistance zones, I don't see a need. And it also lost the angle on the ADX, so I'm going to hold off on that. This could be a major resistance zone and then form an M formation here. But overall, on 1,000 shares for all 5 of these, good overall day for that. And to close out and not trade on Friday, this is a good note to end on. LabU was the only one that had major turnaround here. The swing was only $70, but $590 on 1,000 shares. It broke through the RL270 and the RL90, continue to go up. I think with that announcement at the WHO of vaccine passports and managing more vaccines worldwide and globally, that sent the LabU up significantly. Small cap bulls, that's along with the Russell. Again, a lot of these are at major resistance zone. Same with this is also Russell 2000 as well. The UDOW at the 6.18. Beyond that, it could go up to that particular level. It's pretty strong, but right now on the Dow, it's at its major resistance zone. We could see some retracement as we do in overnight futures. Right now, it's still to the downside. We'll see. And FAST right now is still in the red zone. We haven't gone into buy-in territory for this, even though the ADX is up to the upside. So we'll see on that. And that's financial bulls 3 times the shares. I don't see this ever going a positive bullish run here on this one. The banks and financial services are all in deep trouble right now. There was 435 banks that were on the same level as SVB right now. So this just could be some shorts that are positioning right now in terms of big money. WebL, pretty strong here on the technical side. Not trading it, still negative on the daily. RLFF is down, and also the angle's down, showing weak. Got a lot of resistance to get up to that 0.382 and that Z3 excursion, which is lined. So there's a lot of resistance up here. ERN to the downside, so no go. VERS Z was to the downside, but showing some signs of life to maybe do a pop here pretty soon. This is basically your FANG innovation inverse 3 times. So it's showing that it's right at the Z3 excursion buy zone and support zone and starting to show some signs of life. The RLFF and money flowing into it. UPRO's at its resistance area. That's at 0.05, right above the 0.382, and showing signs of weakness on the RLFF and ADX. Nails to the downside, so no buy there. And Gush is right up against the RL270 right now. So we'll see if this has more selling money into this particular bull or gas exploration, but as inflation hits, oil prices start to decline. So this may start its downward movement. Looking at Bitcoin, it just shot up like a rocket too again. It was down before, but RLFF is up. It did have major selling pressure here to keep it at 0.382 on the Fibonacci, but it's right at support. Just like everything else, I think it's going to be some sideways quiet channel on trading for tomorrow. But we'll see. Gold is up. I already had covered that. Copper followed gold and silver. It's now at its 0.382 and probably will retrace. Silver's at 0.786 on the Fibonacci. It'll probably retrace too. It's been on a tear ever since this mark over here at 24, and this huge gap that was never filled. It just continued to go up, and now it's at 35. So that's 30% increase since March 13th. So there's a lot of fear in the markets. It's up against this 7.86 and also this Z3 excursion, and here's its resistance area or target at 39.08. It has a lot of strength though, a lot of strength. Nothing but buying. No silver. Looking at oil, basically where prices are still tending to gravitate up. World markets pretty much kind of flat overall across the world. This could not only be a recession here in the United States, but also a global recession. Bitcoin is, like I said, doing very well. And it's coming up against its 0.618 and this Z3 excursion here. So it's right around 30,000. So looking at tomorrow, unless there's any market moves overnight, I'm not doing any swings. And I'm not doing the greens for tomorrow, which is showing me basically these 7 here: UCO, GDXU, LabU, TNA, URTY, UDAO, FAST, which are all green and to the upside. UCO was down, so that wouldn't be picked. GDXU is up against resistance. LabU would probably be the only one since it's past there, depending on the market open. Same thing with TNA. It doesn't have very much strength. URTY, same thing, not much strength. UDAO may be a potential thing, but it's also close to its 6.18, but it's already down in aftermarket. FAST is also down. So I'm going to sit on my hands for tomorrow and not trade, just watch the markets on the open. But overall, a good day for today. If you're interested in these kind of strategies going forward or programming in both PineScript or Python, click on the links below. And remember, ruthless risk management. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like rumble button below and the subscribe button. And if you want more information, go ahead and click the course information links below. On the TradingView link and on TC2000, I have an affiliate link. If you open up a TC2000 account, you will receive a $25 discount using that link. Thank you for your time.